Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Thursday. We are here. It is January 8th. Let me get over to comments. Whoa, everybody's here. Awesome. I saw Cindy earlier, and then I had to go set something else up. So, hey, everybody. We got Cindy, Karen, Anna, Dana, Lisa, awesome, Peggy. Sweet. I'm glad you guys are here. Thanks for being here. Okay, so yeah, more Valentine stuff today. Welcome. I've had a lot of new followers, so if you're new here, I appreciate you being here. I mean, if you're an old friend, appreciate you all. So, hey, Debbie. Um, so yeah, if you are new, I am Toni, Toni Stamps. I am currently a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Blah, blah, blah. But mostly I do all kinds of like paper craft stuff. I like to do, hey Gloria, I like to do cards, tags, like mini albums, like scrapbooky stuff, journal bits, like 3D things, boxes, notebooks, notepads, like all kinds of things. Anything you can make out of paper, I like it. So if that's what you want and you're here, awesome. I think you'll enjoy tonight. So I've got just a couple things to talk about. Well, it's actually more than a few, because everything went live on Tuesday. So Tuesday, just 2 days ago, we had the January through April mini catalog that went live. The January online exclusives. Yeah, I did get my haircut, Lisa. My once a year cut it off business. Yeah, it was it was actually so long that I thought about donating it because you have to have like, I don't know, 12 inches or something, but I didn't have time. Hey, Di. Um, yeah, I was busy last Saturday and I barely made it to the haircut place in time, and I didn't feel like dealing with all that. But yeah, it's my once a year fix it up. So, and then it just goes in a barrette, and then when it grows out, then it'll go back to the ponytail. That's just how I do. Um, so hey, Marlene, awesome. Gail's here, yay. So yeah, January online exclusives, new kits. So I didn't look at the new kits until today. You guys, there is a really cute one. It's called Butterfly Garden Card Kit, and that's one that includes a stamp set. So, like they're all, oh, good, Marlene. I'm glad you got it. Yay. So, it's all inclusive. It's got a stamp set, and it's all like, and it's 9 cards, like butterfly stuff. So I love it. There's also an animal one that's like, I don't know how I feel about it. It's like it's all paper stuff. Like you create these paper animals, and then they all have like cages or kennels or something where you like, put the animals in. So yeah, Gloria, I thought it was a neat idea and it was like long enough, but like then I just didn't have time. So next year I will have to plan ahead and actually make an appointment somewhere because there's rules. Um, but yeah. So take a look at those kits and just, go on Stampin' Up, like, and you can always get there. I always put my blog link when I say like, here, go here to order, because you can do everything from my blog. You can go to order, you can go to view the catalogs, which if you don't have one in your hand yet, you should go there and check them out. I've got all the PDFs that they've made available for the online exclusives, the all the catalogs to date, like annual catalog, the holiday one, and now this current one. So check that out. So product of the month. So we've got a new one. This is the second month that they are doing this. Anything. So you have to order $75 worth of stuff, and then you can order this product of the month for $5. And that 75 has to be before tax and shipping and after any stamp and rewards that you've used. So you know how you order and you get 10% as long as you're opted in for rewards. You get 10% of those points, of your order and points, then you can use them later. But that like takes off from your order. So just make sure like when you go to check out, like the order before tax and after things is 75. So the one stamp is the product of the month. This month is a stamp set, which is really cute. It's got like different greetings, and I like the fonts. Yeah, Di, everybody likes the shirt, right? And then this one's my favorite, Dorothy. So yeah, product of the month, check that out. And they are while supplies last. So like if they run out in January, they won't have it again. Incidentally, they still have leftovers from December. So if you didn't get that in December, it was a paper pack, like all blues. That is still available. Bonus days also started. So yeah, she is. That's why she's like front and center. Bonus days, they used to do this in the summer. So now it's in January and February. So January 6th through February 2nd, for every $50 you spend, you're going to get a $5 coupon. Now, oh, good, Di, because yeah, when I saw you Saturday, you needed it too. So yeah, Lisa, I'm with you. Who doesn't love these girls? Mm. So the bonus days, you get a $5 coupon for every 50 you spend. The only catch is you have to use that coupon in February. So you earn them January 6th through the February 2nd. You use them February 3rd through the 28th. Okay. You can, if you're not going to be placing an order and you have a coupon, you can gift your coupons. I believe you can, because it's just a code that you will get in the email. So you could give that to somebody else that you may know who has to place an order and they could use it. Like if there's absolutely nothing that you want, because I always would rather see that than just drop it because, why waste it? That's like leaving money on the table. But so just keep that in mind. And then next paper pumpkin, the January paper pumpkin, sign up for that by this Saturday, the 10th. Okay. It says like sweet Valentines or something, and it's like pink, florals, and I guess it's gonna be Valentine. I don't know. But that's that. All right, so today I'm actually doing Valentine's like all of January. So last week I did some. This week I'm doing more. I'm doing two cards and two 3D things. And then the next 2 weeks I'm gonna do I want to do another mini album, and I'm using because I got the Love Story scrapbooking workshop kit, and I want to do like a landscape album, so something that would open like that would be this way, like open on the side, just because I've got it in my head and I want to create it. But what I want to hear from you guys is, so last year I started like every month I did at least one week where I did a scrapbooking project, whether it was a mini album. Hey, Carol. Whether it was a mini album or just pages, or sometimes I did like a kit and put it together the way it should be. So, oh yeah, Rose. Anybody can send their unwanted coupons to Rose. That's what I'm saying though. Like, if people aren't going to use them, I'd rather you just share them with each other and like somebody use it, right? Um, but what I want to know about is, do you think that is too many scrapbook things? Hey, Cheryl. So I like the once a month because, average we have 4 weeks. And if I pick one week and do a scrapbooky thing, I kind of like that because I like to do the scrapbook stuff. So, but let me know your thoughts. Like, are you pro scrapbooky stuff, mini albums, that kind of thing, or are you against it? Like, just let me know in the comments and then I'll have to go back and, excuse me, read them later. Like, yes, scrapbook stuff, no. But it would still be like just once a month. So, but the next 2 weeks I'm gonna spend on the mini album because I know it's gonna take 2 times at it, right? So, all right, let's go down here. And Lisa, you're not a scrapbooker, but you'll enjoy others. Cheryl, pro mini, yay, pro. Okay, let's go down here. So when I put in the description that I want you to grab anything Valentine-y, that is because I don't have a whole bunch of Valentine's stuff per se. Like, I didn't get the new bundle, but I called this Made with Love Notes because we're using papers from the Made with Love pack and also with the Love Notes pack. So Made with Love Notes, that's where I got that. All right, so those are the papers we're using. Different stamp sets. I might use this Lasting Linen. Stripes and Dots. I got this. This is from last year, from the annual catalog. Cling stamp set. So this one is going away with the end of this catalog because, as you know, they are getting rid of all their red rubber stamps, right? So, and I was hot to trot to get this because I love it. It's kind of like a build it background stamp. You like put these pieces together if you want, or you can use them separate. How many times do you think I've used it since I bought this last May? I think one. Die, yeah, I did a paper share. I already filled up the first batch, and I said, if I get another 4 people, I can do another one. So just if you want it, let me know, and I'll keep you on the list. But so far, I haven't heard from anybody else that wanted it. Um, so okay, we're doing those, and then I've got these 2 new ones. This is from, I believe this is from the mini. Yes, this is from the January through April mini, and I love all these like larger words, and then the happy is actually very tiny, but I like that it's got Valentine's and Easter and St. Patrick's Day, because you really don't find a lot that has St. Patrick's Day in it, and Easter for that matter. Seasonal celebrations. This was, I believe, an online exclusive. I think so. I can't remember now. I'm pretty sure it is, but I love the shamrock and I love the Easter bunny. And then we're going to use these hearts. And then I've got just a couple others that we're going to fill in with. So, first one, and then random dies and my old heart punches. So these dies are the only heart ones that I have. This is an old Stampin' Up set, and this is one that I have from Unity. Right, dashes and frills hearts. Hey, Cindy. So I am mostly feeling better. I'm still getting so much yellow and brown stuff coming out of my nose, like when I do my rinse every morning. And my voice will probably go by the end of this hour. So not totally there, but also much better than last week for sure. Okay, so first up, oh, and we're using these cute little loose Valentine assortments. So look at these cute little bits in here, you guys. There's like little envelopes, sprinkles, hearts. I thought there was lips. Oh yeah, there's tiny little lips in here. So this is just begging for a shaker card, right? So we're gonna do that. First one though, we're gonna use these stripes and dots and these alphabet a la mode dies. So I hope these things are still available. I didn't even check because I keep most of my alphabet dies just because I like having different ones, like just like different fonts. So if you don't have this one, you're just going to use whatever alphabets you have that would fit. And I'm going to poke these out. So I believe this is Strawberry Slush cardstock. And I thought about putting these on foam first so that they would be 3D. But then I didn't get home till like 20 of 8, and I didn't have time for all that. So we are just going to glue them on flat. All right, get rid of all these card, yuckies. All right, so our base. This is going to be like a white on white on white card, and the only ink is going to be through our stamping, the only color really. So we're going to be using Bubble Bath, Melon Mambo, Pretty in Pink, Flirty Flamingo, and Strawberry Slush. But you pick whatever pinks. I wanted to go with all pinks. You pick whatever colors you want, because this is, white card base. You can change it all up. So I'm using the thick cardstock, all right, 5.5 by 8.5. And then I've got another layer that is 4 by 5.25. So I took one entire sheet of the basic white thick, and cut all my pieces. So we've got this, we're gonna layer that on there. Then I've got 5 pieces that are 1 by 3.5, and I may cut those down. Oh, okay, that'll work. All right, we're gonna pop these up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my, what do you call it? My 0 ruler, because I do want those to be like centered. So what we're gonna do is, and I'm gonna start like in the middle. I'm gonna use my stripes and dots. And I did put them in this order because this is the order I wanted them. So I'm going to start with Pretty in Pink in the middle. And if you didn't have a plan, you could just stamp, whatevs. All right, so we ink up our stamp. And let me get a scratch. Get one of these. So with any background stamp, I mean, I could take this on a block and stamp it down, but I'm going to treat this like my backgrounds. I always put my stamp on the table, ink it face up, and then put my card down because I feel like I get a good enough image on like that. Yeah, Di, somehow I ended up with a slice of my finger. And I'm just going to put these on the other side. This one, is that going to fit? Yeah, barely. That might look weird. All right, we're going to do Flirty Flamingo with this one. So any background stamps you have, or you can just use like small hearts, small sprinkles, something to like make your own pattern. Where did I put that ink pad? Oh, I left it right here. Ugh. So use anything to make a pattern, all right? And hopefully this is straightish. I feel like it's running off the edge. Okay, I don't like that too much, but I'm gonna let it go. So I'm putting all these back in the case for now because I just don't feel like dealing with the cleanup right now. All right, I don't know if I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, you know what, I am. But I do need, I'm gonna have to put this one on a block. So this one's gonna be, it's not gonna be perfectly lined up, but that's fine. All right, let's go to the beginning. We'll do this stripe with our bubble bath. Now, if you guys have the older ink pads that are linen, you may just have to spend a little bit more time inking up. All right, let's put this, and actually I'm gonna do this at an angle, a jaunty angle, because why not? Ooh, I like that. I really like that. All right, and then let's do Melon Mambo. And I was thinking I would do this at an angle anyway, but you know what? No, let's do something different. I was thinking of going some this way, but that's kind of crazy. All right, I'm getting it mostly the same. All right, that's kind of crazy. All right, it's gonna work. All right, I'll put this away. And then my last one is the strawberry slush. All right, for this one, I will use that new linen, lasting linen background. Oh, Di, I enjoyed that visit as well. Always. All right, so you know with these new ones, I've like taped them. Let me peel this off. Ugh. I've taped both the plastic sheets to both sides of this envelope. I may regret that because it seems like a little hard to get off of here, at least this background one. But I'm still just gonna set it on my table. And that's strawberry slush. And then I'm just gonna put it right down. Ooh, I like that. I really like this in like crumb cake. All right, and then you know what? Let me just pick this up. I'm gonna have to put this under the faucet. Where can I put it? All right here. All right, now we want, actually I want to emboss. So what we're gonna do is have our pieces here. Like this. So these were 1 by 3.5. Oh, you know what? I may have to trim these. Yep, because that's a little tight. All right, yep, I'm gonna trim them. Now I'm gonna have to change my notes. All right, I'm gonna go with 3/4 of an inch. Now I don't use this cutter a whole bunch, but when I've got tiny pieces like this, that's when it comes in handy. All right. But use whatever cutter you need. All right, now, you know what? I'm gonna take off some of this. Oops, and of course that didn't go straight. Ugh. You guys, ugh. I'm driving myself nuts with this. All right. That feels crooked. Yep. Smidge. I think it'll be fine. All right, 3/4 by 3.5. Yeah. And now I can trim off this edge that I didn't like anyway. So I've got a tiny guillotine cutter that I got from Creative Memories, but that is downstairs. But that would have worked well also. Okay. So back to all of our colors of pink. And oh yeah, I like this. Okay, we're gonna start with the one in the middle. All right, and I've got my 0 ruler, my centering ruler. And so I'm just adjusting to the sides. That looks about right. 3/4, 3/4, and one little one. Yep. Okay. So I want to pop all of these up. Okay. Hey, Jamie Gibbs. Hey, Sharon. No. Oh, and Sue's here. Awesome. No Facebook notification. That's crazy, but I believe it because Facebook has been getting worse and worse about notifying and sharing things and yeah, getting things out. Oh, whoopsie. Okay, so I'm starting with this one. And obviously, I'm just eyeballing part of this. Let me see. Okay, that looks good. We're going to have these here. So let me just dry fit. Okay, I like that. All right, now I just need to use this for making sure like the bottom edge stays straight. So what we're going to do is pop up all these strips and we're going to glue our letters right on top of our strips. All right, I hope my head is not too bad in the way. You see how you can do this idea with like the different designs and strips with any color, and maybe you don't want it to be Valentine's, you know, add some butterflies or something, or birthday cake, because I am going to punch out some hearts as well. Okay, that's doing well. I was originally thinking I would stamp some of these hearts like across, but then these strips are taking up all the room. All right, we're almost there. All right, I like that one this way. Oops. I feel like I didn't get that in the middle. Why do I have all this extra room over here? It's gonna be fine. Something always ends up weird, right? Nothing's ever perfect here. All right, and that. Okay, so definitely like a smidge more room on this side, but what else? Okay, so now what I want to do is just take these and I'm going to start over here, and it's not going to be one letter per. Like I'm going to do, Actually, let's start with the H. I'm going to put it as close to the edge as I can. So if you had different letters, obviously, you know, if the size allows, you could have more letters. But like the big party alphabet dies, I think I would be hard pressed to be able to fit 5 letters across. Okay, now this one, I put glue all over the whole thing, but I'm really going to be only attaching it to 2. All right, so see that, how that's going to go right in between there. All right, P. Now this P is going to mostly be connected just on the curvy part, because I still want them like even-ish spaced out. Okay, oops, I like that. Another thing you could do is double these up. Like, you know, cut 2 out of the same color cardstock and layer them together. That makes things a little bit more sturdy. But this is meeting what I wanted. Okay, now I want to take the Valentine's Day. Again, this is from the new set. Excuse me. Burp, burp, burp. All right, and we're going to emboss white on, this is Strawberry Slush. So use your embossing buddy. Now, if you had white ink, you could use that. I do like white ink with white embossing powder. That tends to make it a little bit brighter. But for now, I'm just going to use the Versamark. All right, so we're going to ink up our Valentine's Day. And then my fancy embossing powder catcher. I think I've had the same coffee filter for at least 10 years. All right, now I like to do 2 or 3 dumpings of the embossing powder. Oh, cute. Cute, cute, cute. All right, let's funnel this back in. And we're going to cook this up. So I'm going to hold it as close to the camera as I can. Hopefully, you guys will be able to see the change, right, when it melts. All right, let's get this going. Okay, that is really cool. So I always like hit it with the heat underneath for a little bit first, because that kind of like warms up the paper, and then I go to the top. All right, cool. Now all we have to do is clean this Versamark off and trim this up. And I'm just eyeballing this. Oh, yeah, I like it. Perfect. Okay. All right, so we're going to glue this down flat because all of those panels were popped up. And if you didn't want to do white on white, you know, pick the lightest color for your card base. Oh, for cute. All right, and then we're just going to glue and hang this off the edge a smidge. And I'm just going to put glue all over. Okay, cute, cute, cute. And then we can add a couple of little hearts. So take any little heart punch that you have. This is an old one, and some scraps. So we've got, let's use some of the same color if we can. We've got a melon mambo. Oh, wait, I had some punched out already. What's that from? I don't know. Melon mambo. Oh, that looks like it's strawberry slush. Let me get a little squirt. How about flirty flamingo? All right, let's do 3 hearts. And then a couple little gems. So let's do this. And these can hang off the edge too. Oh, for cute. I want a different color though. So I don't want flirty flamingo on flirty flamingo necessarily. So let's do melon mambo here. And then this one, flirty, can go right down here. Cute, cute, cute. Now I've got these pink, strawberry slush, pretty in pink, and gold and white. I mean, gold and clear. You know what? Let's use regular rhinestones because I just want a little bit of blingy bling. And then I gotta pick up the pace. 1, so we'll do 2, 3. All right, 3, 1, 2, and I'm using all little ones just because I have a ton of them. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Okay, so there's our first card. So really, you could make this happy birthday, happy St. Patrick's Day, have like different patterns. So just change the patterns and the colors and it works for anything, really. I love it. You can do happy Mother's Day, happy Father's Day. All right, so that's our first Valentine. Where am I gonna put this? How about let's close this and make a pile. All right, I do need to put some of these away. Already melon mambo. Oh, nope, I'm gonna need melon mambo and bubble bath and pretty in pink. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna make is a 3D thing. So I'll show you the prototype and then we're gonna make some changes. So I was at Walmart last week and I found their Valentine aisle. They have these cute mask things, Valentine like face mask things. So I thought, oh, we need a little pocket to put that in. And then I added a magnet to close. So I am going to do a magnet. The thing I wasn't wild about is these are so lumpy, like that it bows. So you need something to keep it closed. So see how it humps up this way? I still love it, but we're going to make some changes to make it nice and flatter. But if you didn't want to use magnets, you could tie it closed with a ribbon, or you could do a belly band around here. Yeah, Peggy, I love these. These are the new doilies. So we're going to do different colors because, of course, they had like 2 or 3 different patterns. So this one is a purple and pink. I love it. It's so cute. All right, so first, we're gonna do, let me not cover my notes. How about that? Let's put this over here. So this piece is Melon Mambo, 5 1/4 by 10 7/8. Now I will have, measurements on my blog this weekend. 10 7/8 because math is important. I wanted at first I was gonna do a 1/4 inch spine, but then I decided I wanted like a 3/8 of an inch spine because this thing is really a wee bit thicker than a 1/4 inch, this way. So 5 1/4 by 10 7/8. I want you to score this at 5 1/4 from each end, right? So score at 5 1/4, then flip this whole thing around and then do 5 1/4. All right, and then that gives us our 3/8 inch spine. All right. So that's that. Let's fold and burnish, burnish, burnish all of these. So now this is just going to lay nicer with this spine versus lumping it over. I mean, believe me, I'm still going to give this to someone and act like I love it. I do love it, but prototypes, there's room for improvement. All right, so now it's going to sit like this with the spine at the top. And I've got a piece of, this is Melon Mambo, and I embossed it with the dotted circles folder. So we're doing this at, this is 5x5. And be generous with your glue when you've embossed something. All right, and actually I'm gonna make this flat-ish for a minute. Okay, get this nice and even. Okay. And where'd my doilies go? Okay, I did want to add the doilies. So these come in, it's Real Red and Bubble Bath. So it's gonna be a little bit light, but I'm still gonna use the Bubble Bath because it's just pink enough. It's so cute. And I really thought, oh, these things are humongous. Like, what am I gonna use it for? And I've already found 2 things to use it for. So the smaller ones are gonna be good for like a normal size card, but the big ones, I am loving it. All right, so just add glue sporadically. You don't have to hit every single thing. I say that as I'm hitting every bit. All right, so, and then some in the middle. Okay, and we will add this and just center it best you can. All right, that's good. And actually, let me flip this over. Oh, and you know what? I already messed up because I needed to put my magnet under there. In between there. Oh my God. All right. Plan B. I'm gonna have to put my magnet. Ooh, you know what? I can get it up there. Okay. Not the end of the world. Let's do the inside and then I'll come back. All right. So that is, whew. All right, inside piece. So we have to build a pocket. All right. So I've got, see how we've got our layer here. And then this is a gusseted pocket. So not just, so we've got hinges on the side. That makes it a little bit roomier. All right, so we've got, for this one, Highland Heather, and this is 5x5. And then our white is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Now, part of this is going to be down in the pocket's going to cover it, but it's just as easy to do it this way, 4 3/4, even though you won't be able to write on this part. All right, our pocket, Melon Mambo. This is 3x6, and we're going to score it at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. All right, so on this side, and then turn it once to the right and 1/2 inch, and then turn it to the right again and 1/2 inch. And just like any pocket, we're gonna, like this, we're gonna trim the corners off. All right, and then we burnish, burnish, burnish our hinges. And then we're gonna add a little piece of designer paper to the front. So this kind of reminded me of an Easter egg pattern. And I don't know what the color is exactly, but it looks good enough against the Melon Mambo. But this, let me just pull this out. This was from a pack called, this was the Mixed Up Patterns. So it should be Strawberry Slush. But there's like, you know, some florals and some different pieces. So this seemed to go, at least this pattern. All right. So let's glue this on. This is 2 3/4 by, nope, 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. All right, because our pocket ended up being like 2 1/2 by 5. Nice. All right, so let's, oh, and again, I think I did it again. I need to put this, oh my God. Nope. All right, I'm gonna put the magnet behind here. I should have put it here. No, you know what? We're gonna put it there. And I'm gonna just add a I'm gonna add a heart over top of it. It's gonna be fine. Should always put your magnets before your designer paper. All right, so let's pinch these together, and I'm gonna line the bottom flap up with the bottom of my Highland Heather. Okay. And let's burnish these. Get that down. Love it. And let's just glue this in. But a cute little thing, and I think these masks were like $1.99. All right, let's just center this. And again, it was in the Walmart, the Valentine section. All right, look how cute. This goes right in here. All right, magnets. Oh, so let's put one. You know, I like to put my magnets on with glue and some tear and tape. So, and this can be off to the side a little bit because we're just going to put a heart right over top of it, a punch out. All right, let's do that. Then, and then I want to just let this one go. See where it's going to drop. All right, cool. All right, and let's add another. Actually, no tape on that because it's going to be fine. That is fitting just under this part of our doily. So now I just have to go back and glue the doily around it. All right. You know, I always mess up something, you guys. But that I should have definitely put down between the embossed layer and the base. All right, I'm trying to roll this tape off my finger. All right, but cute. Oh, of course, I want it to be straighter. Ugh. Let me move this up a smidge. Okay. That's good enough. But you see how that's, I like that better. It's not as, I don't like the curvy. We could have probably done with a 1/4 inch spine, but 3/8 is fine. All right, now, what do we want to put on it? Well, I stamped a bunch of the donuts because this flavor is glazed like a donut. So cute. We're definitely going to put hearts in here, though. So I want a layered heart, and I wasn't sure if I want to do purple. I think so, because I want to tie in the purple on the inside. So we're going to say you're like a happy Valentine's Day, and I'm going to use this one. This is from the B set, Be My Valentine. So we will do Melon Mambo. Oh, cute. Cute, cute, cute. And then take a tiny heart. This one is actually from an old Stampin' Up! Paper pumpkin. So let's just stamp off. Couple. Cute. And I think that's all the stamping I'm going to do. And we're going to glue this on the purple layer. So these were my Unity heart dies. You use whatever you have. All right, let's do that. Oh, for cute, 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 cute. And I pop this up. I'm just gonna follow like the same design that I did for the prototype. Pop this up, and then we'll add maybe 2 donuts. And a couple of heart punches. So let's do that, like right there. Now these donuts, so I stamped them in Memento Black, and I just want to color in purple. Let's see, Highland Heather. Oop, Fresh Freesia. Highland Heather. All right. Dark Highland Heather. We can do a Freesia too. All right. And then we'll do, let's make them, we'll do 1 pink. Pretty in pink, that'll work. And dark bubble bath. No, I want pretty in pink. Flirty flamingo. Wah, wah. Pretty in pink. Okay. Dark. So I start with the dark, like randomly on the edges and like near the inside. And then I just color in the whole thing with the light. That seems really dark. Is that pretty in pink? Yep. Okay. I didn't believe it. All right. Now I like chocolate donuts. So I'm going to get one of these browns. This is 500. So this is the set that's like to help you with color skins, like skin colors. But any brown. And let me just color this. Oops. All right. And you could go darker, like what else? All right. And then we'll do a purple. Let's do dark Highland Heather. So same kind of thing. Guess I could use the fatter end too. I just want like some differences in the, between the dark and the light. Oh yeah. Seems like my pretty in pink were pretty similar. So next year, they've gotten rid of the markers. Next year, all we're gonna have for the ink colors is these Stampin' Blends, which I may not be buying a whole bunch of them. That's all right. All right, I do want to add a little bit of Melon Mambo, which, oh, you know what? I have the old Melon Mambo. Yep, let me just add a smidge. Ooh, this is really dry. But that's okay, because I only want a little bit of color on there anyway. Okay, that's actually working out better than I thought. Okay, we're going to have 2 donuts. I'm done with coloring. Okay. All right. So 2 donuts. Now, these do have dies that will cut out the middle as well. But we're not gonna do that right now. I thought it was weird when they discontinued the dies that go with this, but they kept the stamp. This is from the More Than Autumn bundle. So the stamps are still online, but like I said, they got rid of the dies. All right, so just take your time cutting. There's no real rush. All right, cool. I like it. All right, we'll do, oh, cute. Happy Valentine's Day. And then we'll do a Yeah, we'll punch because I do want to cover that up. Let's just punch bubble bath. And actually, I've got a bigger heart punch I can add. And I'm punching 2 of these because I'm going to put some on the inside as well. Melon Mambo. And then we'll do a Highland Heather. So whatever heart punches you have, you guys. Okay. And all right. Like, can go there. No. Let's do this little one right here. Let's just do it in the Mambo. Cover that right up. Perfect, because I could see that through a little bit, and I wasn't a fan. All right, let's pop these donuts up. 3 donuts would probably be better, but I'm not doing it. Because we still have 3 things. We have 2 donuts and this heart. So we still get our rules of 3. Oops. Put that right in the trash. All right, let's do that. And this, it can overlap a little bit. Cute. I'm going to put this in a little bit closer. Okay. All right, now I just got to put a little bit of glue since I ripped that up, but I do want it closer. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Now, inside, I want to cover up. Oh, whoopsie. Hilarious. This was supposed to stick. Now I need to fix this. I need to add a little bit of tape to the back side of my magnet so that it can catch on this other side. That's funny. All right, let's put this where I want it. Press down. There we go. You guys. All right, not the end of the world. So I want to cover this with that. And I think I took, yeah, I stamped a couple things. So this is where I had a bunch of different stamps from like my paper pumpkins. Let's use these ones. Okay, so we've got Be Mine, and let's just stamp that. Let's do Gorgeous Grape on that Highland Heather, just so it really shows up. If you want to take the time to emboss that in white, like those conversation hearts, that's kind of what I was going with. That would be cool. All right, and then I had Be Mine, Love You. This is from the B set. Cute. We can do that in the Melon Mambo. And then we've got our bubble bath. Oh, cute, cute, cute. And I'm just going to stamp this one in Love. And this came from a paper pumpkin, an old one. Okay. Cute. But oof. Guys, I did not mean to be this far behind. All right, let's just glue this. And I glued these down flat. So let's just put this. All right, covering right up that magnet. All right, let me get another little bit of glue. So the next card I'm going to make is this shaker card. Yeah, is anybody else having issues with freezing? I sure hope not. Because I can't do anything about it anyway. But that would suck. And I see Lisa's on let's put that right there. Lisa's on YouTube. So is anybody else having any problems. All right, and I'm just gluing these tiny little ones. Ah, for cute. Okay. And let's just put that there. I love it. Okay. Get this out of the way. So here's our 3D little treat magnet. Let's add a couple little gem rhinestones. Yeah, I love these donuts. Commercials, no freezing. So they do commercials even on the live? I mean, I know they do them on the playback, but I wish that I could do something like the only option I have is to turn that off, and I can't turn it off entirely because that gets me like a few pennies. So Dana, you're having freezing too. So yes, and Sharon on Facebook. That's crazy. All right, you know what we can add as a little shimmer to this donuts too. But I love this. Well, hopefully it doesn't cut things off. Like hopefully it just stays like you don't miss anything. But I love this. And you could put it in the mail, you can hand it to somebody. So there's those. And I really do like the green one too, even though it's like not your traditional colors. But the reason I picked the green was obviously because of what's in it, because this was the pink and the green. So, cute, cute, cute. Okay, next, let's making a pile. So we talked, I don't know, a couple months ago about possibly making a shaker card using some of our flip flaps. And so that's what we're gonna do. But I realized I don't have the right size, so I'm just gonna have to make do. So, we've heard the idea, or I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but the idea of a faux shaker card. So for a faux shaker card, oh, here's my stamps that I'm using. These are my old paper pumpkin ones. I may use that. So faux shaker card is instead of, you would have your layer, put transparency on the back and then do like foam around it to like build it up. Then you put your little shaker bits in and then you cover it with the back piece, right? With a faux shaker, you use a clear envelope and make your shaker bits, and then you would just glue the clear envelope on here and then go ahead and attach this to your card base like normal. So along that line of thinking, I wanted to try the flip flaps. And I could tell you, as soon as I pulled it out, I realized I'm gonna have to do something. The thing with the flip flaps is, so here's the opening, right? We want to put our stuff in. This adhesive is like on the outside, so it's not going to close it really. I'm gonna have to do this and like turn it in on itself to get that to close. And with that, I've got to trim off the edges. So, which is fine. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just mitering these corners. Now I have only 3x3, 3x4, and 4x4. I really wanted 3x3 for this. But then after I cut my card out, I realized it's too big anyway. So 3x3 would have fit this way. Like, oh, it still does fit, like barely. All right, that's cool. So what I'm going to do is, actually, let's start with the beginning. So card base. So no sound? You have sound, Gloria. Right? Okay. I don't know what's going on with this tonight, you guys. So this is Pretty in Pink. The actual color in this Made with Love paper pack was Bubble Bath, but it does not. This matches much better with Pretty in Pink. So we're doing 5.5 by 8.5, Pretty in Pink. Then you'll cut 2 pieces of white that are 4 by 5.25. So one, I'm going on the inside. And then the second one, I already taped it around. So the designer series paper on this one is 3 13/16 by 5 and 1/16. Sharon, yes, Flip Flap is a new-ish Stampin' Up! Thing. It actually came over from Close to My Heart. They were the ones that had them first, and Stampin' Up! Finally, they changed the brand to Stampin' Up! A couple, I don't know, 6 months ago or so. But yeah, they were a carryover from Close to My Heart. So there's a bunch of different sizes: 3x3, 4x4, 3x4, and 4x6. So I've added 3x3 to my next order, but it turns out this 3x4 would work anyway. So anyway, I did my designer series paper. I just taped around the edges, and then I ran it through with my dies, so I can actually use these cutout bits for a different card, right? And actually, I don't know why that's sticking on the edge, but anyway. So 3x4, and I cut a 3x3 piece, okay? And I'm just gonna have to fold this down. So what I wanna do is stamp first. So this is gonna go behind here. Oh, wait a minute. That's not gonna fit, right? Oh, maybe it will. Ish. Did I cut this wrong? Nope. I did cut it wrong anyway, but all right, the edges, I don't like that. I'm gonna have to put something on. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put this off to the side. So I should have used probably a 4x4. And, ooh, you know what? Hold please. Oh, I do have a 4x4. That's just gonna take it right out to the edge. Is this, no, 3x4, 4, here we go, 4x4. Because my paper is only 4x4 or 4 inches wide. Ugh, you guys, it is always something. All right, let's see if this is going to work or if it's going to get on my nerves. Because I think this is actually a little bit wider. Yeah. So do you see here? 4x4 is not going to work because it's hanging over the edge. All right, want. We're going to make do with this. So I'm going to stamp what I want in the middle of this 3x3 piece. And I'm going to go with, so these are the shaker bits. I'm going to go with Strawberry Slush because I feel like that's what the colors are. Strawberry Slush, Pretty in Pink, maybe Bubble Bath. But I want my greeting to really show up. So I like this one. You pick whatever greeting you have that fits. So I want to say love you. And then we'll, you know what? Can I get this all on one? Love you. Trying to get these like straight-ish and close enough. All right, we're going to give this a whirl. And I haven't used these stamps in forever. All right, put this right in the middle. Oh, cute. Cute, cute, cute. And then we'll add some of the tiny little hearts. And I can do that in Pretty in Pink. Any little hearts you have would work. And I'm only going to add a couple because we're putting our shaker stuff in here. And that's kind of going to take the focus anyway. All right, so we've got that. We've got that. All right, so we'll put this in our sleeve. And I'm going to put it in that side, push it all the way to the down to the bottom. Now take your shaker bits. And we need, let's see, make ourselves a little scoop. And just put these in the front side, all right? So let me hold this open. And make sure you get enough in there to make it worthwhile. Because you do want it to shake, shake, shake if it can. All right, that's cool. There's some doubled up though. All right, that's actually a lot, but that's good. All right, we're gonna go with that. Now, I'm gonna fold this and burnish. So actually, oh, you know what? I don't have to tuck it in. So since I folded this over, this folds like that. This is the opening, so that's gonna get like tucked in. And I saw that one went astray. All right, that's good. Oh, cute. It's a little snug. But it's fine. But that's the principle. That's the gist of this. Cute, cute, cute. And then we can put some tear and tape around the edge to keep this like in place. I may have put too much shaker stuff in there, because this stuff is a little bit chunkier than just like having glitter. All right, and I'm just putting this all around. And then let's burnish that. So we're going to glue our flip flap on, and then we'll add some foam tape around the edge of this piece so we can still like pop it up some, like we would a regular shaker. All right. And I'll have to figure out how to cover up the part that is going to peek through. All right. So let's go like here. All right. So do you see on this side, it's just that 3x4 flip flap isn't quite big enough to cover. But we'll deal with that later. All right, let's get some foam tape. And, you know, I like my Dollar Tree stuff. So let's just put this on. And I'm going right over top of that flip flap. And down the whole length of my card. And then we'll put two little pieces here. I don't know if this is really quicker than a regular shaker card, but it's definitely different. I know when we talked about it, like, you know, we were wondering like, hey, could you do that with a flip flap? And so the answer is yes, we can. All right, and then add a little bit of glue. And then we'll put this right on our card front and make it flat so I don't mess up. Oh, I love it. Okay. Oh, cute. All right, so what I want to put here is just like a small, is that gonna work? Let me see. Ooh, bubble bath. No, I want Pretty in Pink or strawberry slush. All right, so there. Nope. So what I need is actually, let's do a cluster. All right. We're gonna fix this, you guys. So we'll do 2 hearts there. 1 down here. So it'll be like on purpose. And let me just find a piece of Pretty in Pink. I don't have any scrap of Pretty in Pink here. Well, that's dumb. What's that? Nope, that's bubble bath too. All right, I'll get the Pretty in Pink later. How about that? Or can I reach it? Ugh. Yeah, I can. I just had to stretch. All right. Oh, look, I got a scrap, a tiny little scrap. Perfect, and we'll use the same heart punch. All right, perfect. I'm happy with that. So love you. And, you know, if you want to put something else down there, you could, like Happy Valentine's or Love You Valentine. Actually, where's that? That greeting. So you could just ink up just the Valentine in this stamp. So Love You Valentine. That would be cute. But for now, I'm leaving it, right? So, because I have one more project that I want to share with you guys. Oh, that's cute. I love it. I might try this with just a clear envelope though. I think that might like that better. Okay, so last thing, and you know, if you guys have to run, yeah, great save. So if you guys have to run, just come back later, because I want to make a treat box. So these were at Walmart too. Dave loves them, so I figure I grabbed it. Of course, it was on the end cap, caught my attention. So heart-shaped, hopefully these are heart-shaped. These little ding-dongs. Why is it so hard to open? Jeez. They don't want you to get into these things. All right, so I'm thinking we can make something. Oh, those are tiny. Smaller than I thought, but that's fine. So I want to make a box that will hold 2 of these. And I have not measured anything because, as you can see, I just opened them up. So what I do, actually, we're going to be able to, I need to measure how big of a box I'm going to have. Let's just put it down the corner here. So my box is going to need to be 7 inches. I wanted this to be 2 compartments. These things take up more room than I thought. All right, we might do just 1. Wah, wah. I'll do another different thing with different treat. So we'll just do a pizza box for this. So this needs to be 4, let's say 4 by 4. And let me get all right, we'll use this highlighter. So pizza box pattern. Doot, 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 and doot. So this will be 4, this will be 4, and the height looks to be 1.5. So these are all 1.5, 4, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. All right, so our cardstock needs to be 4 plus 3 needs to be 7 by 8 plus 3 is 11. Ooh, that's not going to work. 12.5. So, this is the tricky part of sometimes measuring these out. All right, what we can fit in, 3.5. We can make this 3.5. 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. Hopefully that will help. So we've got 3.5 is 7 plus 3 is 10 plus 1.5 is 11.5. I don't like that. Can I squeeze this down? Yep, 1.25. All right, you guys. 1.25 is it. 1.25, 1.25. Time to get out the calculator. 1.25 times 3 equals that, plus 3.5 and 3.5 is 7. 10.75. All right, by 1.25 times 2 for down here, plus 3.5 is 6. So cardstock will need to be 6 by 10.75. And I'm gonna use, I do want to use the Made with Love papers. So let's pick, I've got these patterns up. Ooh, I like this one. Yeah, I like that. And the colors in the Made with Love. So whenever I do a paper share, I put this like guide sheet together that has the colors. Who gets the squish treat, right? Made with love, Flirty Flamingo, Poppy Parade, Real Red, and Strawberry Slush. Let me see what this. Nope. Let's look at Poppy Parade. I think Poppy's gonna do it. I like that. Yeah. So that's the dark one. Okay. So I want to cut this at 6 by 10 3/4. And 6. So this one's kind of on the fly. 6 by 10 3/4. All right, measurements. So on the short side, it's easy enough to just measure in 1 1/4 from each side. But I need to write the measurements anyway. So 1 1/4 plus 3 1/2. So 1 1/4 plus 1 1/4 plus 3.5 is 4 3/4. All right, 1 1/4, 4 3/4. And we turn it, and we're going to go 1 1/4, 1 1/4 plus 3 1/2. Again, 4 3/4. Then we add another 1 1/4 is 6. And then 3 1/2, 9 1/2, which that should leave 1 1/4 for this. Yep. Okay. So our panels, these are 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. So I'm going to want 2 pieces of designer paper that are going to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So I'm going to have to cut it this way first. Ooh. Oh, and I can use both. So, all right, cool. So 3 1/4. And I'm cutting it long way because I only had a 6-inch strip. So I can't get 2 out of the width. So that's why I had to do that. So 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. All right. Oh, let's put our box together. So when we cut our edges, let's see. So this is going to be our top. So we're going to trim this at an angle. All right. And now this one, I want a slight angle on this side and a bigger angle on that side. So slight angle, bigger angle. Because when I do pizza boxes now, I like to fold. This is the top, and that will get folded into the box. All right, now on this one, let's do straight and then angle. And then straight and angle and angle. Because I want these straight edges here. All right. So straight edge, like on the right side of this score mark. And then angle. Straight edge on the left side. Angle, angle. All right. Let's do all the folding. Yeah, I don't like to have to get 12 by 12 out for something like this because I don't have it in every color. And you know what? Something like this, I really don't think the two-tone cardstock is strong enough. All right, so it's going to come up like this. And I'm just trimming my edges just so they'll fit nice. Okay, so this is our top, this is our bottom. Let's start with putting our designer paper. I kind of like this for the inside. glue boogies. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I think I might have to get different treats to make a double compartment treat holder, because these are there's just too much space with the all the air in this. All right, so that's our bottom. And then we'll take our side flaps and we're going to drag that up so we get that nice corner. All right, I'm just going to squeeze that. And I'll do this side. I could make a bunch of these. This is easy enough that I could stand to make 10 of them or something. All right, and then these, let's fold both our flaps in. Let's bring that up. Oh, cute, cute. I like adding the designer paper to the inside as well, just because I think it gives it a nice little bit finished. All right, oh, cute. All right, so these all tuck in here. Now, if you find that you're having a hard time getting this to close, sometimes that's why I angled this side more, the side closest to like the back of the box, just because that's what's going to impede anything. All right, and then let's just put this here. Oh, cute, cute, cute. Now, I don't have any Poppy Parade or Flirty Flamingo ribbon, but I feel like you don't really need it with this because, you guys, it's staying shut by itself. I love it. So let's say all we do is we could have a couple little, be mine, whatever. But maybe I'll finish that later because it is already 9:30. And this is the important part, is that we figured out this box. So cute. I will have my measurements this weekend, so you can actually create one of these. And again, I found these things at Walmart. Maybe I'll do a different one when I update my blog so that it can hold two. So, because that's really what I wanted to do for it. So, yeah, it will be a flap. Yep, it is a pizza box. It's just that the flap goes into the cover instead of out. So when I started making pizza boxes years ago, I had all the flaps like attached. I didn't do the cutting the same, and I had it close over top. But it always the sides wanted to like flare out a little bit. I didn't like that. So somehow I thought, let's just put it on the inside. So anyway, okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed these projects. And like I said, next week I'm gonna be making a mini album using the Love Story scrapbooking workshop kit, which the Love Story, it matches this Made with Love paper. So it's got like, some sheets of two-tone cardstock, some more designer series paper, some that's like one-sided, and then it's got the sticker sheet and die cuts. So that's what I really like, is having to use those. Yeah, Sharon, everyone loves this one. I love it. So I have a couple of Golden Girl shirts. Thanks, Peggy. So yeah, I hope you guys like the little Valentines. And yeah, I'll update my blog. I'm gonna say by Sunday. So okay. You were thinking a hamburger box. Oh, okay. Where it would like come over a little bit off the top. We used to have a die that made a hamburger box. So thanks, Dana. Okay, you guys, enough. I'll let you go. Thanks for hanging out. Thumbs, hearts, like all that stuff will be good. This is one of the better ones. Yeah. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, Gail. Thanks, Di. Thanks, Anna. Gloria. Awesome. All right. Good night, you guys. Bye.